can think of is the boy who cried wolf in the end. And all we need is a reason to make our purpose clear.
Here we go, just a couple seconds. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Beyond the Edge of Exile. My name's Jason, and to my side here is Jeff. Jeff, how are you doing this evening? Oh, something's gone wrong because I don't hear Jeff. Let's do an audio check first with everybody in the crowd. Can people hear me, and can people hear Jeff? Let's find out.
I forgot to turn off the magical muting button that I use
okay.
to not have people hear me cough and wheeze.
Okay. Now I hear Jeff.
I'm better
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. That's funny.
Yep.
Sorry, I asked, how are you, Jeff? Are you good today?
I was doing great until I realized that walking downstairs is not meant for me. I somehow bungled up my knee just stepping down the stairs today. Walking down the stairs, and now my knee is killing me. It feels like it's this big right now. So,
man.
Pardon me if you see me wince every so often.
Well, I hope that doesn't mean what it means for me. I know I've started to get more aches and pains as I get older. I kind of thought you'd be forever young. I'm hoping that you're not getting older like me, because the wear and tear does suck as we get older.
It's amazing what kind of filters can hide the gray hairs, Jason. I'll send you a few.
Oh,
you
please, because
well.
I definitely need the help. That would be great. Thank you. Oh, I feel really good today, Jeff. I'm excited.
Yes.
I love the new champion we're going to be revealing tonight. And I know Will in particular loves it. I got to talk to Will over the weekend and ask him questions about what he was thinking of when he was imagining this very cool, very different champion than we've seen before. And he gave me a lot of ideas of where he wanted this character to live in the world and what he wanted that character to be doing. And so tonight's whole lore and reveal of the card is very much a tribute to Will, trying to be as faithful as possible to his original vision. He's really excited about this card. I know he loves it. I'm really excited about it. Jeff, I'm guessing you're probably excited about it.
I am actually, and have I told you yet that I really like how you're doing these reveals with a little bit of story behind them? I think it's great. Like, I really like that. I think it really can help draw people in that might not be too. I mean, they're new champions, right? No one's really familiar with them. No one knows what they're doing or anything. So aside from just reading the card and what it does, it gives them that little bit of extra to latch onto, to be part of it, which I think is really, really neat.
Thank you. That's really very kind of you to say. Much like we've done with basically everything we've done. You've come up with great ideas. I've come up with some okay ideas. And it's been nice that we always seem to just try to implement things we wish other games had done before. And it's fun to experiment with it. So I know I've told you that I've really enjoyed doing these. And I do. It helps satisfy my creative outlet, and I love it very much. So thanks. It's been really fun. And I can't wait to share the one tonight. And then, you know what else I'm excited about, Jeff? Besides just the new card, is I'm also really excited because Janice pointed out to me that about, I think less than a week from now, we're going to be down on our way down to Kentucky to be part of the huge Gamma convention, and I can't wait for that. Jeff, you can maybe explain to the people at home how things went at the Montreal one, because that was really good, and how this one's probably going to be even bigger, more exciting.
I think Montreal was a whirlwind for all of us, and before we knew it, the 6-7 hours of demoing we had done was was it that long? It felt like forever, but I'm sure it was only like 5 or 6 hours was gone like that. We closed the place down, if you guys remember.
That's right.
They actually had to ask us to leave because we were running demos for too long. The people were lined up trying to get their demos in. Yeah. And it's not that the demos took long, it's that many people wanted to see how this game was played. So
people waited after the hall closed to keep going. So if we get anywhere close to that kind of reception in Gamma, I'll lose my mind, because I'm just so. It's always so much fun with this game that the game really does sell itself. It's so much fun to play. And it's like it kind of feels like all our job is just to teach people the basic rules, and then that's all that we
Yeah.
really need to do because everybody always loves it so much. And I'm so excited to get down and just get a chance to meet new people that we haven't met yet and introduce them to the game that we love because it seems like almost every time anybody hears about it, they wind up loving it too. So I know the next week is going to be so exciting.
Well, as we've said too, right? It tickles that fancy of different people, right? You've got
Yeah.
the card game players, you've got the miniatures players, you've got the chess players. Out of the 4 or 5 things it hits, one of those is going to be something that a gamer likes. I've heard people say, I don't like miniature games. Okay, but do you like card games or chess? Yeah. Okay, well then we've got something for you. Well, I don't like chess. Do you like card
Yeah.
games or miniatures? We fit into one of those categories, which really helps draw people into it and get them really excited about it, I think. And it does work really well on the board. It plays really nice. It's an easy game to demo once you start showing it off.
It's also a great game visually for people walking by. It's very eye-catching when people walk by and they haven't seen it before. The nice thing is it really does kind of stand out a bit from everybody else. What with you playing collectible cards onto the play mat, and you got the
Mhm.
tactical experience and that whole extra dimension of strategy. So yeah, I just can't wait to set up a booth and get to it.
We've got these bright, vibrant colors now working between the card backs. The fronts are a lot brighter with the using the parchments everywhere to try and brighten that up a bit. Some of our new art direction is really vibrant. It's just really, really standing out. I think you can't help but see it. It's lively without being cartoony, without pushing into the Pokemon realm of things and things like that. I think, which is really,
Yeah.
really exciting.
You're gonna have a bunch of names already. Look at the chat tonight. Holy crow.
I know, I know. I started adding already. I'm up to one of my 5 names, and one of them is John, which means we give away an extra pack if it lands on John. So everyone
Yeah.
has to hope it lands on John. We haven't had that in a while. Sorry, Zog just said something here. I'm assuming it's pronounced Zog. I've been doing demos every weekend at Kobold's Keep lately. Awesome.
Oh, I
That's
love that. That's
great.
awesome. That's that really cool store out in Reno, Nevada, that was one of the ones that sponsored the final store championship of the old regime. So they've been around for a while, love the game,
Mhm.
and that's really cool to hear that they've been doing demos out there. That's awesome.
I know Cardboard Cohorts has been working on building his community.
Yeah.
Damien has got a strong community going in Southern Ontario there.
Yeah. Shout out
Um,
to Forbes Gaming. Great store.
yep, yep, yep. It's just uh, keeping the community together because it really is a community game, right? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you start building and you get. I don't know. I'm not that games aren't community games. I really just feel this is a community game. I like the way it draws people together and plays. It feels a little bit different than the other trading card games when you play them. To me, at least.
I remember something that what's his name, the Magic historian, said because he was on
Mike, yeah.
site at the store championship, the last one in Toronto, and he did when he did his live stream the night after that weekend was over. He talked about how he loved the vibe at the last store championship because it felt like as if he was at a Magic the Gathering tournament, but from 10 to 15 years previously,
Yep.
when everybody was just before it's hard to explain if you don't play Magic a long time ago and now, but there's a lot more pure excitement at that store championship. Everybody was just very communal, happy to break the ice and talk to new people they didn't know, like very social and outgoing. And nowadays, I think in general in society, it gets harder to do that when you walk into a giant convention hall. Other than the person you get matched up against, sometimes it's hard to like break the ice. So it's neat that Genesis community still has that, where if you walk into the room and obviously you're here because you love Genesis, I want to get to know you. I want to talk to you. And it seems like so many players in our community are very much wired like that. It's just a fun, infectious thing that we love to share that excitement with other people.
Last tournament pre-Genesis that I played was a Magic the Gathering tournament, and wow, that was a shock to the system compared to my LGS, where everyone was just there to have fun and enjoy. It was very cold feeling. Like I
Mm,
try and break the ice. I
yeah.
crack jokes. I make some humor of it. No, my opponents weren't having. We were playing Pauper. If anyone knows Pauper, it's not a game you take. It's not a version you
Yeah.
take too seriously.
That should be the fun, casual chat, maybe
Right.
joking around kind of environment for
But when
sure.
I sit down to play Genesis with someone, it's big conversation right away from the get go. We're talking about what we're doing. I'm putting this here. I'm moving that there. I'm turning this way. It's very engaging in that respect, and it does become the social game that you expect it to be or that you hope from these games because you
Yeah.
expect to be social with them. You're meeting up face to face with people. You want to be social with them. I think.
Awesome. Over on the North of Exile channel right now, Marcus Prideham has joined in the chat. So if you want to add him to the list of names for prizes
I
tonight,
will
that'd
add
be really
Marcus.
cool.
Yes, do that right now.
And hello, Marcus. He said hi in the chat, so I'll say hello back.
I'm going to do a quick rundown of names now, if you don't mind, because a
Yeah.
whole bunch came in fast here. So I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I know I missed one already. I missed David C there. So I have cardboard cohorts. John R, Damian C, David C, Zog, Timmy T, Marcus P, and David C. And
and you-
Duelist just entered,
Yeah.
and I'm adding
I was just
Duelist
going
in
to
now.
say, it's like as soon as you start reading the list, somebody else pops up. That's awesome.
Yep. So I think I've got everyone that's been here so far and talked. That's nine entries. We've got 11 people according to my screen watching.
Yeah.
So that makes kind of sense. I know one person that's never going to comment that's watching, so they will never join this list, which
Like
is fine.
me. Because no, I did comment, but yeah. So I'm watching. I'm one of the 11. So
You're one of the 11.
well, I got to read the chat, right?
Yep. It's true. Well, me too, right? So I'm watching it as well. Oh, Will is here as well.
Will's here.
That's great.
Hey, I don't know if you heard, Will, but I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm really excited for tonight's card reveal, just because of how passionate you are with the story and the vision you had for this character. And based on my conversations I had with Will this weekend, I just want you to know, Will, I've been very faithful to what you said, and then I've kind of put my own little twist on it as well while being faithful. So I'm very excited to see what Will thinks after. It's really cool. It's cool when you have anybody who's a creator watching. Like if it's the artists who are tuning in and watching, it's always exciting for them to see the feedback and for us to see them get acknowledged when these streams happen. Or with the card designers, it's great because both JC and Will are here tonight in the chat. And I love it. I love shouting out the people who are doing all these great contributions because it takes a village to raise a child and it takes a whole team of diverse people to create a collectible card game. And everybody
Indeed.
is just contributing in so many wonderful ways. And I'm so excited.
I think Will himself was visiting some places to not run some demos, but to talk about getting Genesis into a couple other places near him where he is now and all that, which is wonderful. It's just it
And I
keeps
could be
growing.
wrong, but I think they actually played. I think they went to a new store
Oh.
and started playing. If
Excellent.
that is the case, then Will should definitely shout out that store because any new store that's just discovering Genesis, well, love to mention them, right? So
And I know our reorders, our restocks, I should say, have gone out
yeah,
to the distributors. And oh, sorry, I am just getting sorry, I just got a text from my kid. Minor
okay.
emergency. Can I be right back? Can you carry
Yeah,
it for a few minutes,
of
Jason?
course.
Sorry.
Yeah, I love to talk, Jeff. You're good. I'll talk
No problem.
for as
I'll
long as
mute
you need.
myself here right now,
Sounds great.
and you guys can have some fun.
Yeah, for sure. So since I finally get the whole thing, I've got the whole thing. If I had time, I'd put my face on the other side of the screen so you could see me in double. But so Cardboard Cohorts mentioned in the chat there. He's like, "Oh, this better be a good reveal," and the only way that Cardboard Cohorts would probably think this would be better is if the champion was another werewolf, but it's not a werewolf. So, but I think everybody's going to really like it. It's going to be a really fun character. And shout out to somebody else in the chat, Mr. David Clayton, who's a very good friend of mine. He helped contribute to the spoiler video that we're going to do tonight. Normally, everything on these lore videos has been entirely me, from the graphics to the voicing and the editing. But I got to use David's talents today, and I won't spoil what he did or what he contributed because I don't want to really give any hints to tonight's reveal. But it'll be fun to talk about this reveal after you guys have seen it. It'll be really fun to talk about the differences in the character and the differences in the kind of vibe that I wanted to establish with this reveal tonight. Uh, but David, there's some things I just couldn't do on my own. So David came over and hung out with me for actually a few hours today at the store while I was putting the finishing touches on this video and contributed. And it turned out great. And David only got to see and hear little snippets of it because it was still being put together at the store. So it'll be his first time seeing it from start to finish tonight as well. And then thanks, Will, for mentioning, I couldn't quite remember the name, but Waypoint Games in Ancaster, which I believe is like a suburb of the Hamilton, Ontario area. They're starting to host some Genesis players who have been going from store to store trying to find a home, and it sounds like that might be the new home for a hub of Genesis community players in the Hamilton area. So if any of our fans out there have been looking for a place in that part of Southern Ontario, there you go. You'd even get to meet the famous Will there, which is pretty awesome because he designs a lot of amazing cards and does a lot of great work. I'm starting slowly to run out of things to say in my, what do you call it, when it's you by yourself, monologue. So please, people, chat me up. Chat me up in the chat and help me buy some time to stall until my good friend Jeff can get back. Mr. Jeremy Herron in the chat, nice to see you out here tonight chatting. You got to stop by the store and visit. I want to chat you up soon. So, Jeremy, come into the store and say hi when you get a chance this week. Monologue, yes, thank you. And eventually, my brain's a little slow tonight because I haven't ate dinner yet, but I got the word eventually. Thank you, David. I can always count on David to help me out. So, you know what? I'm going to totally, since I got a minute to stall anyways, I'm going to take a minute just as a sidebar to say, I know as an adult, a lot of us don't necessarily always have like really close friends that you would trust your life with per se. But David Clayton is one of the rare people out there who's just a really, really high quality caliber person who's always been there for me whenever I needed anything, be it a shoulder to cry on or someone to just listen to my problems, give me advice, hang out with, do hot sauce competitions with. David has literally, and this is from a hot sauce perspective, a tongue that I think is made of steel because he can eat any crazy hot sauce you can imagine. I admire the guy so much. And he's actually a really great real estate agent. So if anybody wants to move closer to the headquarters of Genesis Battle Champions, which is the Midland area on beautiful Georgian Bay, I recommend reaching out to David Clayton and being like, hey, I want to get in the action. Help me move somewhere cool. And he'll take care of you. So, yeah, there's my shout out. I feel really lucky that David's not my only super close friend that I can count on, but I feel really lucky because I have like 3 people in my life that I know would never betray me and would always be there anytime I need anything, and David's one of them. And I hope for everybody else out there watching, I wish all of you to have at least one amazing friend like that you know would always have your back. Because sometimes when you're running a small business, and in this case, I'm not talking about Genesis, I'm talking about my board game cafe that I own. Sometimes when things are slow, it gets stressful, and it's just really nice to have somebody to talk to and bounce ideas off of and all that. So it's been really great. I appreciate him. And on a different level, since I'm still stalling for time because Jeff's busy right now, I just want to say that I really appreciate all the really cool people I get to chat with on these weekly live streams. It's great that we get to talk about something that we all love and enjoy. And if I had one request, I guess I'd kind of ask you people in the chat watching to maybe give us some more chat about like how you've been in the past week and what's new with you. If we're here for an hour talking about Genesis, I will happily during that chat also read like what's new with y'all because I'm very curious. I love to hear about how people I know are doing and what's going on in their lives, what's exciting, whatever. I think of the people that I get to chat with on this channel over and over again as extended friends, my social circle, actual friends that I care about and I love to hear from. So let's chat it up as much as we can because I want to know everything that's going on with all of you. And if there's ever anything you want to know that's going on with me, I'm very much an open book, and it can go both ways. And we can all not only win at the game of Genesis, but win at the game of life by expanding our social circles and making more friendships that last. Speaking of making more friendships that last, I'll just mention again, I can't wait to meet some new friends this coming week because when we go down to Gamma, which in case you're not familiar with it, Gamma is the biggest industry-only gaming convention in North America, which means you have to be working at a game store or working in a company that makes games to get to attend. But I'm going to get to meet a whole bunch of the people that work at Southern Hobby, which of course is one of the most popular and biggest gaming wholesale distributors in the entire United States. Definitely the one that most people love the most. And it's also the one that distributes Genesis. So I'm excited to meet the people down there because Southern Hobby Distribution has such a great reputation. And it'd be fun to meet them. I see Jeff's back, but before I let Jeff speak, before I let Jeff take over, the other thing I want to say is because I just praised how great Southern Hobby is, I also want to praise how great the team at Universal Distribution in Canada is because when we were there in Montreal for their big expo game demonstration event last fall, the whole Universal staff was great. Their event was really well organized, and they're very much, in my mind, the top tier of what a game distribution company could be in Canada. So shout out to both of them, our North American distributors, because they're both, and it's not a pun when I choose this wording, they're both at the top of the game and they're doing great. And I'm very grateful that both of them have chosen to carry Genesis and help our little card game get into as many hands as possible all across North America. I feel very blessed for that. Now, Jeff, it's great to have you back, buddy. I
Yes.
hope everything's good.
Uh,
Anything that you'd like to talk about before we kind of get into the video? I don't think there's any new names. I was just kind of talking a lot with David and the rest of the viewers, so I don't think you have to add any new names to the list. But anything
mentioned
you want to
Wade.
talk about before we get into checking out the new champ?
Will said Waypoint Games is the place in Ancaster.
Yeah.
Did you mention that?
Yep. I shouted them out.
What else? Is there anything else to really talk about? Not really. I cannot wait for regular spoiler season. I mean, these champions are amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love spoiling them, but I cannot wait for regular spoiler season. There's some really exciting stuff in there that's different.
Yeah.
Now, that's art or mechanics. I'm not going to be specific. It's just different, and we'll see how that goes. So that's what I'm really excited about.
It's great that you mention it too, because one thing I didn't bring up is definitely there's still time. I would assume there's still time for some people who make content on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or whatever to get issued spoilers, because like we don't have every single card spoken for yet, do we, Jeff?
No, we do not. No, we started building up our form. We're going to go through it hopefully in the next week or two. I think we should get through the champions and then we can start all of theirs, but we'll get them the stuff ahead of time so they can start planning their own videos and all that. So not everything is spoken for. There's room still. So
there's
let
still
us know.
time, everybody. If you got a YouTube channel, Twitter, or TikTok, if you like making content on a regular basis, reach out to us at, as you'll see at the top of the screen, hello@edgeofexile.com. And Jeff, the master of all things artwork, will make sure you get taken care of, which will be really fun.
Please, if you do send a message in, also include your favorite affiliation. Kind of helps me direct where
That's
some of the...
great idea, yeah. And what would you want to say on the email subject? Just, is there anything particular that you want them to write so it sticks out in your inbox when you see it?
Oh, that's a very good point. I think spoiler request would probably be the best.
That makes sense.
Request, and I'll know that it's looking for that.
Very cool. There you go, people. I know there's a lot of great people out there that have been making videos, because I get a lot of notifications lately with people doing gameplay videos and talking about Genesis in general. So if you want to be able to reveal something and have the worldwide premiere exclusive first look at a card, we'll be happy to work with you and get you set up.
Janice has a better name, Metamorphosis spoiler request, or maybe even just MET Janice, if that's okay. MET spoiler request, so it's shorter on the subject line. But yeah, definitely that it's for Metamorphosis, yeah.
Cardboard Cord says he wouldn't mind doing a spoiler. Did he? Surely
I've got
Cardboard
his
Cord
name
is
down already.
requested, right?
I'm just trying to find which card fits best for cardboard cohorts there.
Nice. That's exciting. Well, and you know him pretty well, so I'm sure that you will find the perfect card for him. I have no doubt. So that's really cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's cool. So we talked about a little business. That's good. I know I'm kind of champing at the bit to see people's reaction to this spoiler. So if you're up for it, I think I'd go ahead and hit the play button. Does that sound okay with you, Jeff?
I'm ready and waiting with bated breath.
Oh, Jeff, I do. I have one little bit of good news for you personally, Jeff, too. The last half of the spoiler video actually has subtitles on it. So even though you don't get the audio when you watch it live, once most of the actual story of this begins, you'll be able to read it. So it'll be cool. It'll be a little bit better viewing experience for you this week. So I'm happy about that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
and with that being said, I can't wait to discuss this video when we come back. But I guess we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So please, without any further ado, everybody, allow us to introduce you to a very cool, unique, and slightly different from anything you've seen before brand new champion coming out in Metamorphosis for Genesis Battle of Champions. The world is in metamorphosis. And this is the story of the librarian who knew too much. Far away from the southern lands, and far beyond the foreign reach, there is a countryside filled with mountains that take days to travel beyond. But if you can find the right path, you can find a way into the mountain range. And if you were to follow that path, you would eventually reach a village located at the base of the biggest mountain of all. And built onto the side of that mountain is the Labyrinthian Library. And today, Caleb, one of the most learned scholars in the land, is taking some time out to do a good deed for some of the children from the local village.
And so that was the story of when the archer and the spider fought each other atop a tall cliff, each trying to sacrifice himself to save the other.
Wow, that's amazing! And what happened after the spider threw herself off the cliff to save her best friend, the archer?
The archer fell asleep, and when he woke up, there was a magic gem in his hand. He later used that with 5 other magic gems to bring half the universe back to life.
Half the whole universe? Oh my! That's so incredible!
Yes, it was marvelous. Anyway, story time for today is now over, so you children should begin to make your way to the exit now.
Thank you for the story today, Mr. Caleb. It was really great.
Yes, you're most welcome. And thank you for coming to visit the Labyrinthian Library. Goodbye. I doubt those children would return for more stories if they knew what else lurks here amongst the books. Who said that? The Labyrinthian Library is now closed. Whoever you are, it is time for you to be leaving. Leaving? Why would I ever wish to leave my home, especially when my home is so luxurious and filled with so much fascinating knowledge here for me to devour? Your home? Surely you jest, sir. No one lives in the Labyrinthian Library. Silly mortals, always thinking that just because they haven't seen something with their weak little eyes, that it means that nothing is there. So foolish. Foolish? I will have you know that no one has read more in the Labyrinthian Library than me. Now stop hiding and show yourself. Oh, so you wish for me to show myself to you? Well, then I shall, but only because you have asked me to so nicely. Well, come on then. Ah! What's the matter? You act like you've never met a demon before. I haven't ever met a demon before. I'm a librarian, damn it, not an exorcist. Damn it, you say? My, such colorful language for such a dull person. Although I can tell you do possess something which I desire. Something delicious. Delicious? Oh no, you aren't going to eat me, are you? Of course not. I'm vegan. Sheesh, not all demons like to eat meat, you know. Ugh, what an offensive stereotype. Well, I'm sorry, but what exactly did you mean then? I sustain my vegan lifestyle by devouring all of the knowledge of the multiverse to keep me distracted from my physical hunger. And I can smell a lifetime's worth of delicious knowledge bouncing around in your head from here that I can't wait to devour. Again with the devouring. Are you going to eat me after all? No. I am not going to eat your brain. I'm just going to move into it with you. Now make some room in there for me, Rumi. Ah! What are you doing? No! Get back! Get out of my head! Ooh, it's nice in here. I really love what you've done with the place.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on
This summer, Genesis Battle of Champions is available now in stores across the United States, Canada, and in the European Union. Ask your local game store to place an order today with these fine distributors. And we're back. So, what did everybody think about that? Jeff, let's start with you.
Oh, I thought that was incredible. I really like the injection of humor in there. I'm assuming you meant to be funny. Some of it. No. I really did like that injection of humor into it, and it was just phenomenal. I was really, really excited. I love that way of presenting it. That total old school RPG feel. I wish I could hear it because according to the chat, there was some great voice acting in there.
Yes, big shout out to David Clayton. He knocks it out of the park with his voices. He's great.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to listen back to it to hear that because that looked awesome. I can't wait to actually hear it. So far, we've got some good response in the chat too. Wow, so cool, very cool, guys, and amazing. So that's pretty positive, I would say.
couple things that I want to shout out right away is one, shout out to Will for his card design. It was very good. When I talked to Will about the lore, very much, I think what you're going to see with these characters as we explore their lives moving forward is Caleb is kind of a bit of a bookworm, a bit of a scholar. Obviously, he is a librarian who works in a giant maze-like library, the biggest in the entire world. And he's been kind of absorbing knowledge his whole life. That's his whole thing, is he just wants to be as smart and knowledgeable as possible. Unfortunately for him, he's met a vegan demon named Redvorn, and this demon, instead of feeding on meat, he likes to feed on knowledge. And my goodness, does Caleb have a delicious smelling brain? So great, in fact, that Redvorn's decided to kind of move on in there and maybe take over the driver's seat every now and then. So it's going to be really neat because not only is Caleb and Redvorn these very dynamic opposites with almost nothing in common other than they both have a love for knowledge, but Redvorn has some interesting characteristics that we'll explore every now and then when it makes sense, where Redvorn might be the most self-aware champion we've ever introduced, in so much as Redvorn might be aware, thanks to all of his knowledge of the multiverses out there and everything happening, that he might even be aware of our universe and pop culture and things like that. You might see some Deadpool-esque kind of moments every now and then when the need arises. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm really excited to explore what we can do with this new character who sees the game in a very different way than anybody else we've ever played with. I think it's going to be really exciting and fun. And again, this is one of the great examples of the teamwork where Will had this great vision and design, and it was just a pleasure to talk to him about it. And this is the end result when we all come together to contribute our parts. And the cards, of course, look phenomenal because once again, with the new templating and everything that you've contributed with figuring out where the artwork goes, how it zooms in, things like that. I'm blanking on which artist did the art, though. Can you remind me?
Constance was just phenomenal. She's one of our new artists, and man, she blew that out of the water. She did that.
Yes, I love those arts, especially when we watch the video later. I'll point out to you when you see the backside where it's Redvorn is the primary character. The expression on Redvorn's face is just like it's so expressive, and the art that was there is just it's top tier. And the fact that we're able to get this kind of amazing high quality artwork onto our cards in a game that's still growing and the growth is showing that the sky's the limit, it's really exciting. I'm just so grateful for everything, including you, Jeff, choosing which artists to work with, because you've made some great selections. This new artist, Constance, like I'd put that art, especially I'm really in love with Redvorn and the expressions that I'd put that art up with anybody's. I think it's phenomenal. So
she's
great
really
job
giving,
on finding the talent.
She's really giving Dahlia a run for her money because Dahlia, in our little art sphere, we called it a Dahlia face because anyone remembers from Invasion, all the close-up faces that Dahlia did were really full of emotion and expression. So we called that the Dahlia face, and Constance is giving her a bit of a run for her money here with that kind of expression. She really captured it well.
Yeah, to have more than one artist capable of that level, like we're pretty blessed. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. No, that's why I can't wait for the regular spoilers to start, because there's some phenomenal art in there too.
Yeah.
A couple surprises, like I said too, that might excite people.
I'm also excited just to see a lot of third-party content creators to see how they'd like to reveal it. I'm sure some people would be pretty straightforward, throwing the graphic up and talking about it. I'm sure some
Mhm.
other people will kind of do some bells and whistles on it. And I
Yep.
love it because it gives the content creators who are happen to be fans of the game a chance to kind of, put their own personality into it a little bit as people are discovering these new cards that they can't wait to play with.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, it's incredible. It's yeah, it's just so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I'm
It
very
really,
happy
really
to
is.
see the response, like you said, in the crowd, in the chat. So many great comments. Like everybody's loving where this new set's going. And I like Invasion knocked it out of the park, but I really think Metamorphosis is going to set some new records for us as a company, and I'm excited about that.
Well, I think once people see more of the cards, more of what's going on in the game, they're really going to be excited about it. I mean, I know I keep hearing from cardboard cohorts with these champions. One of his partners there, or one of his friends there, I should say, Opal, is going crazy for them and what they can do. When people see what the rest of the set has in it, I think it's really knock their socks off and be
Yeah.
excited to get into what the whole set can do, tied in with older sets as well as just on its own. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. I think I know exactly what you're referring to, and I would agree. We've said it, I think, a couple of weeks ago. We mentioned there's some major cool things about this new set that we haven't revealed yet that we think people are going to get just as excited about what they haven't heard yet as everything that they've seen so far. Like this next set is really going to be, forgive the pun. I'm sorry for the pun, but it's really going to be game changing, is what it's going to
Yeah,
be this next set.
you
And
don't
I'm
have to apologize for puns around me. Don't worry about
and I think it's going to be
it.
great. I think somebody in the chat asked if I could bring Caleb up on the screen, and I will do that. If you can kind of guide the chat and the video for a minute, Jeff, I'll grab
Yeah,
that off
for sure.
my computer and I'll pull it up on the screen. So,
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we've got these new champions we revealed so far, which are really exciting. A lot of changes, a lot of different stuff going on. I know that's why Ishmael asked if we could pull this up, because they want to go through it so they can see what it actually says, which makes a lot of sense. Especially this champion in particular was pretty text heavy, so
yeah.
it was a quick flash on the screen to read. So when Jason pulls it up, we'll be able to read it with you, and we should still have Will and JC chat, so they'll be able to answer any questions that we don't have answers to. And if there's something that
Yeah.
none of the four of us have a proper answer to, if it's very niche, we can pull that back to the just get an answer for that. So here's Caleb, but we can read it out if you want. Caleb is a swift exert basic attack 1. You deal 1 damage to target in your awareness. Action exert breakthrough. You draw a card. That's what the breakthrough mechanic is. And an I trigger, which is a immediate trigger, which means it cannot be responded to, is lose control. Except for the first round, when you draw your first card each round, reveal it. If it is 6 chi or more, transform Caleb, Scholar of Jalar. And that's when you will transform them into Redvorn, Soul's Desire.
And if you like, just give me a second, Jeff, and I could bring up that art
Yep.
instead. I can only do one at a time the way I'm set up, but I can
Not a
swap
problem.
it out. I'll flip it over now, and then you can read the other side. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
And you'll see it on your end in just a second,
Sure.
because it's just
Yep.
appeared.
I'm a little delayed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could do 2, I was going to say throw it over my face, but because you can't, I'll read it out here. Redvorn, Soul's Desire has a little bit different awareness. Another immediate trigger, cast. When a card goes to the opponent's memories, except from the timeline or by resolving, you may play it by discarding 2 instead of paying its cost. If you play it this way, transform Redvorn, Soul's Desire. So that would be converting him back into Caleb. Swift exert Neurum. Target combatant in Redvorn's awareness discards a card and loses 1 life.
Yeah.
So that's what Redvorn gets you on that side.
That sounds familiar too. Was that exact keyword of Niram used before by someone? Or it sounds familiar.
It might have just been through the play testing, but
okay.
Will be able to let us know in the chat, because
Okay.
I've actually found that, Jason. A lot of times I'll see it and go, but this is one of the common terms. It's been around Genesis for 5 years, and they go, no, it hasn't. You've just been so embroiled in it in the last 3 months.
Fair.
It
Yeah.
sounds familiar. I'm like, oh,
That's fair.
you're right. That's on me. Which can happen when you get so involved in something. If they're still in the chat, JC or Will, they'll chime in on that if Neurum existed before or not.
The cool
Okay,
thing
let me
too
see if
is,
we have some questions here. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say the cool thing too is I think this is now officially the first champion or dual-sided card we've ever revealed that can flip back and go both ways, right?
Yes, I believe it
So
is. Yes.
that's pretty cool.
There you
Hey,
go.
welcome to the chat, Austin.
Hassan.
Nice to see you here tonight. Very cool.
So Kendra
And
has neuro. Yeah, you
yeah,
were right. Yeah.
that's cool. It happens every now and then, once in a while.
We are about the same as me then. We're 50-50.
Yeah, that's why we work so good together.
So Cardboard Cohorts had a question. So when transforming, how does the health stats? The health carries through. When they're transforming, they're not actually leaving the arena.
Yeah.
The rules team is working on a little primer about it and to explain how transforming works. They do not actually leave the arena. They're transformed within the arena, so the health stays with them. Believe I'm getting that right. That was the last discussion we had with rules. Rules operate kind of on a different level than I can. So they will probably explain it much better than I can. That's the basic of how I got it simplified for me to understand, was that it doesn't leave the arena, so the health stays with it once it transforms. Unless, of course, it directs you to do something with the health, like Isaac did, right? Isaac instructed you to add some health once it transforms.
And from a lore perspective, it makes sense too, because Redvorn is kind of inhabiting Caleb's body now, so they're sharing a body. Sometimes one is driving and sometimes the other takes the wheel. So even from a story perspective, it makes sense why this card in particular would always share the one static health.
Yep, that's why also when our werewolf transforms, they're getting that boost of transforming to an animalistic form, whereas this is the actual same person kind of in the same body sort of thing. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Cardboard Cohorts. I think it did. Any other questions about it or like that? While you're thinking of questions, I can run through the list again because we've got a few more names added. We've got 13 people in this list now.
That's awesome.
If that's okay. We've got Cardboard Cohorts, John R., Damien C., David C., Zog, Timmy T., Marcus P., David C. Oh, I have David C. in there twice. Let me do that. Sorry, David. You only get to
we like him that much, right?
Duelist, Will K., Jeremy H., Ismail, and Asan.
Oh, and shout out to Hassan. He placed an order for some Genesis product last week, and I got it shipped today. It got to the post office today. So your package with some bonus gifts is on its way to you pretty soon. So,
to answer Cardboard Cohorts there, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say no, I cannot tell you how many new mechanics there are in Metamorphosis. But we do know that Transform is in the
Jeff might
champions.
be good at keeping secrets, but I actually don't remember how many there were. I'd have to do math and get my fingers going here. So
you called me out there, Jason. I don't remember either. So
I would say you're good at keeping secrets. I just don't remember.
Yes, transformation is very interesting, Son. Yeah.
It's just one of several things you'll see in the next year that give you different ways to play, which is really cool. We've got some other ideas coming up too. Sorry, I cut you off, Jeff. Please.
Oh, I was going to say it's really nice because we had transforming is something that the design team has wanted to do. We have a couple other things that Jason injected that the design team ran with that are just phenomenal, and actually I believe set the groundwork for future releases. So it's kind of something that's going to grow over time over the next 3 or 4 releases. So that's really interesting, and I'm really excited about stuff like that, and that's why I can't say too much more about that stuff. But we've got a lot of people injecting ideas that can kind of free flow. Like we're really wanting to grow these things and forward with them as best we can.
And speaking of contributions, we can't say anything about it yet. It'd be too premature. But the next set being Cataclysm, Jeff came up with the basic concept for the theme of the next set. So it's really cool. He looked at what we were doing this set, and then he came up with a great idea of where to take it for the Cataclysm set. So it's neat because, like I mentioned earlier, everybody's contributing different things all the time, and it's really fun. Like I used to work in a factory before I got into working at the game store, and it was always just very much repetitive, and you didn't have any freedom to add any flair to your life. But everybody on our team is coming up with brilliant ideas all the time, great suggestions. And the cream of the crop always rises to the top, and the best ideas are getting used. And we don't reject anyone's idea. If it's a great idea, we'll take it and run with it. And I feel really blessed that I get to work with such a great, passionate group of people, all to the common goal of just helping grow this game so more people can discover how fun it is. It's a very blessed life that I get to live working with all these awesome people, including Jeff and Janice and the design team and the rules. All of you. You're all great people.
It's a great combination of them too. Like rules and dev and ownership management are all working together. It's not siloed. Nothing is pulled apart like that can only be in one avenue, which really helps a lot, because it doesn't allow us to run rampant with something that's not going to work in the end. We do nip those things in the bud, and we can carve them and shape them and mold them to what we need specifically without having to waste development time on something that's just not going to work out that specific way or whatever, which is really, really nice.
Yeah. I don't know what to talk about. I'm just so happy right now.
I don't know either. You know what?
Great.
We can show the video one more time if we want. I know Asan came in a little late, maybe for him to see it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want to, we can run it again, and then we'll see if there's any last questions before we spin the wheel, because we are getting close to 8. So that video will take us to past 7:50, and then we'll spin a wheel, give away some prizes, and call it a night if everyone's okay with that. But let's watch the video again, I think.
Well, and I know, Jeff, you probably in particular can't wait for this live stream to end, because then you can go back on the replay and hear all of David's hilarious voices, because he did a great job, and you're going to love it when you get to hear it with the audio.
Once we get through the this live, I am not having a follow-up debrief with you, Jason. I'm just going to hang up and run so I can listen to it.
Very cool. I don't blame
Warning you ahead of time.
It'll be worth it for you. Don't worry. All right,
Good.
let's check out the video again. Here we go. The world is in metamorphosis. And this is the story of the librarian who knew too much. Far away from the southern lands, and far beyond the foreign reach, there is a countryside filled with mountains that take days to travel beyond. But if you can find the right path, you can find a way into the mountain range. And if you were to follow that path, you would eventually reach a village located at the base of the biggest mountain of all. And built onto the side of that mountain is the Labyrinthian Library. And today, Caleb, one of the most learned scholars in the land, is taking some time out to do a good deed for some of the children from the local village.
And so that was the story of when the archer and the spider fought each other atop a tall cliff, each trying to sacrifice himself to save the other.
Wow, that's amazing! And what happened after the spider threw herself off the cliff to save her best friend, the archer?
The archer fell asleep, and when he woke up, there was a magic gem in his hand. He later used that with 5 other magic gems to bring half the universe back to life.
Half the whole universe? Oh my! That's so incredible!
Yes, it was marvelous. Anyway, story time for today is now over, so you children should begin to make your way to the exit now.
Thank you for the story today, Mr. Caleb. It was really great.
Yes, you're most welcome. And thank you for coming to visit the Labyrinthian Library. Goodbye! I doubt those children would return for more stories if they knew what else lurks here amongst the books. Who said that? The Labyrinthian Library is now closed. Whoever you are, it is time for you to be leaving. Leaving? Why would I ever wish to leave my home, especially when my home is so luxurious and filled with so much fascinating knowledge here for me to devour? Your home? Surely you jest, sir. No one lives in the Labyrinthian Library. Silly mortals, always thinking that just because they haven't seen something with their weak little eyes, that it means that nothing is there. So foolish. Foolish? I will have you know that no one has read more in the Labyrinthian Library than me. Now stop hiding and show yourself. Oh, so you wish for me to show myself to you? Well, then I shall, but only because you have asked me to so nicely. Well, come on then. Ah!
What's the matter? You act like you've never met a demon before.
I haven't ever met a demon before. I'm a librarian, damn it, not an exorcist.
Damn it, you say? My, such colorful language for such a dull person. Although I can tell you do possess something which I desire. Something delicious.
Delicious? Oh no, you aren't going to eat me, are you?
Of course not. I'm vegan. Sheesh. Not all demons like to eat meat, you know. Ugh, what an offensive stereotype.
Well, I'm sorry, but what exactly did you mean then?
I sustain my vegan lifestyle by devouring all of the knowledge of the multiverse to keep me distracted from my physical hunger. And I can smell a lifetime's worth of delicious knowledge bouncing around in your head from here that I can't wait to devour.
Again with the devouring. Are you going to eat me after all?
No, no, no. I am not going to eat your brain. I'm just going to move into it with you. Now make some room in there for me, Rumi.
Ah! What are you doing? No! Get back!
Get out of my head. Ooh, it's nice in here. I really love what you've done with the place.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really wanna flex my gifts, but I think it's my time, let me check my wrist.
Caleb and Redform getting into double the trouble this summer. Genesis Battle of Champions is available now in stores across the United States, Canada, and in the European Union. Ask your local game store to place an order today with these fine distributors.
And we're back. What do you
Just
think,
as
Jeff?
good the second time. Just as good. And I'm glad someone picked up on the Star Trek reference there too. I wasn't sure if people would, because little of the jokes, it was the subtle one. It was great to see that. Yeah, I really liked that. That was great.
Awesome.
Now, of course, everyone keeps talking about the voice acting, and I can't hear that yet. So I can't wait to hear that.
Well, David's assured me in the chat that he'll be available for future spoiler reveals when needed. Just think of him as my own personal, totally unpaid Robin Williams.
That's
Luckily
good.
for me, he accepts payment in cappuccinos and Americanos, so it works out.
That's good. It keeps him going and then lets him do even more voice acting.
Right? The more caffeine I feed him, the better the voices get. Don't tell him. Shh.
Yep. Do you want me to spin this wheel now? Because I think we've reached kind of towards the end of the show. We've got everyone's names in here and all that. Let me turn the camera around to it, and you're gonna have to tell me if we get it in frame nicely or not. Because now I've overshot it towards the right again, because I know I'm always short on the right, and I bet you I'm still short on the right, aren't I?
Yeah, a little bit, unfortunately. We see the left side of the wheel. You want to see the right side. There you go. That did it.
Did I get it? That's
yeah,
enough?
you're good. Yeah, oh, yeah, you're good now.
Okay, so I'm going to shuffle everything up here. We've got 12 entries. Again, if we land on John, we roll again, and we give away 2 packs of Invasion instead.
That's
I
awesome.
want to say Metamorphosis because that's what's been on my head for the past month and a half.
Right.
So Invasion though,
Soon
still
enough.
Invasion.
Soon
Soon
enough,
enough.
we'll be able to do that.
All right, let's do this magic spin. No new names coming in. Nothing. All right, spin the wheel.
And now someone will comment. No, we're good.
Yeah, you're right. Is it? Oh, Cardboard Cohorts had rolled just past you there. Picked up Marcus P.
Well, congrats to Marcus. Tuned in on the North of Exile channel. It still counts, and he's won himself a prize. Next time I see him at the store, I will hook Marcus up with a new pack, a shiny, fresh new pack of Invasion.
May all your polls be foils, or something
Yeah,
like that. Right?
exactly.
I can do the whistle of that, but that's as close as I come to it. I don't know if I've sent it myself.
Jeff, I'll ask you. I can't remember. I guess we're going to be busy Monday night next week in Gamma, so we should probably let people know. I
Yeah.
don't think there's going to be a live stream.
I don't think so because we're planning to be doing demos, I believe,
Yeah.
all day and all night. So I think it's safe to say, Jason, there's no live stream next
Yeah.
week. If anything, it would be a quick, probably just a selfie video of us saying, "Hey guys, we're tired. We're going between halls. Thank you all."
Right.
Sort of thing. I even doubt that. I think it'll just be a crash and get up in time for the show the next day type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So,
my
but the cool thing is 2 weeks from now, when we come back, we'll have cool stories to share about how Gamma went too, and probably some photos and stuff. So it'll be neat to let people know how that goes, because I'm very excited, and I bet you it's going to be a great time.
Timmy and Cardboard Cohorts, we may do our own personal little streams here and there, just, hey, we're at the show, blah, but I don't know if there'll be an official Genesis stream type. We like to keep those despite mine and Jason's best efforts, we like to try and keep it a little more professional, a proper Genesis stream, Edge of Exile stream. So there might just be personal posts here and there to keep up with.
Well, and like you said, I don't think we really know when the demo night's going to end for us, because if it's anything like last time, we'll be shutting down the venue. So it would be too late at night to do it anyways. It wouldn't be anywhere near the time we normally do it. So
Cardboard Cohorts is telling us it's Kentucky. It's not that great. There's no nightlife. We'll have plenty of time.
yeah, but I'm excited to have some
Gamma's going to be great.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, Jeff. Actual Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He lived in Mississauga for most of his life, Colonel Sanders. So it's technically Mississauga fried chicken.
Oh, is it? Somehow
I
it
think
doesn't have
that's
the same ring to it, though.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't quite have the same ring.
That's funny. Well, it's been a great stream once again, Jeff. Thanks. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. This is great.
Thanks to all the people in the chat. Wow, great engagement tonight, everybody. Loved it.
You'll put that video up in the next few days, I'm assuming, Jason, on our channel so that people can share the reveal.
Well, since it's already rendered, I was actually just going to do it in the next 10 minutes after this stream ends. I'll put it up on our Facebook, and I'll upload it onto the YouTube channel. And just before we say goodbye to everybody, I'll just throw it out there to everybody. I think that this spoiler in particular would be a really great video for everybody to share on Facebook and share the link to the YouTube and whatnot. Because especially with the added bit of humor, if we get people who have never heard of Genesis before seeing the spoiler video, I think it'd do a good job for pulling in new people who want to know more. So think about it tonight. When you see it on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever it winds up, maybe think about giving it that share kind of vibe. And hopefully we'll catch some new eyes on Genesis from it, which would be great.
That'll be great. That really will.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I give you the parting words. Thanks, Jeff. Go ahead and say whatever you want to say, and then I'll run the credits.
Thank you all so much for joining us once again. These nights would not be possible without you. So I'm sure I speak for Jason as well when I say your evening. I hope you enjoyed the spoiler and enjoy what's coming, not next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Bye.